Hey besties, I'm Jet,
I'm Victoria, and welcome to the Book Besteas Podcast,
where the books are good
the takes are honest.
and the tea is always hot. It's still smoking.
What are you drinking, Jet?
I am drinking chamomile tea because I'm finally going to sleep after this episode.
Mine is called Sweet Dreams, and it's a mix of chamomile and something special, apparently. Don't know what it is.
Really? So it's a secret.
Well, I guess it's a secret to me because I didn't read the box thoroughly, but...
Okay. Because what if you're allergic or something to that special secret?
I think I'm safe. I read it at one point, but we'll see.
Well, okay, let's get into this episode. So our world has expanded and our characters are being forged in fire. We are now in Arisha and we are diving into Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, Book 2 of the Empyrean series.
And we'll start spoiler-free for those of you who survived Fourth Wing and are ready for Iron Flame. And then we'll give a very dramatic spoiler warning before we enter full rebellion mode. If you have not read Fourth Wing, pause, save this, and go bond your dragons because spoilers for Book 1 are everywhere.
So, Book 1. Wow.
Quite the journey.
My best book out of the whole 3 books that we've read so far. In Book 1, we know about Brennan. He is alive. He is not dead. And we now know that wyverns and venons are real and that they are the real threats. And that griffins are actually pretty nice and on their side. Liam is dead. He's gone, really gone. And we woke up in Arisha. Violet is now in Arisha, and now we're going to see how it goes. How is she going to recover with everything that she found out? And how is she going to move forward?
And we also realized that Arisha is part of Tyrandor, which is, and it's the city where House Ryerson is. So the man is back in his own house now. And on top of that, he's not alone, and Brendan is not alone. There's actually this full council that meets there, and they are the ones that are planning this whole rebellion. And they're also in a phase of rebuilding. We're also introduced to the larger political conflict, and although we're currently in Aritia, Xaden and Violet go back and forth between Basgiath and here. And we're going to see some chain of command changes, more secrets revealed, and some more battles erupt.
Exciting. We also get to know new characters in this book. And
yes,
some of them are actually my favorite characters. And yours too, because I know who your favorite character is. And the whole series. I'm not going to say it, but I know who it is.
We'll get there. I know yours.
Yeah. What makes Book 2 different?
Okay. Well, first of all, I would say like in Book 1, we were just thrown immediately into all of the action, like in Basgiath, but we were limited to Basgiath and its structure of like being cadets and learning. Now we're actually like these cadets are being thrown into real battle now. And we're talking like not just battle on the battlefield, the last battle they had with the Venin in Book 1, but also political battles. We're starting to learn a lot of secrets. There's some more characters introduced, like you said, romance, trust, and power dynamic shifting.
The 3. I think this is the book that is action-packed. Like the most action happened in this book. Do I love it? In the beginning, I thought so at first. Honestly, like I thought I was gonna give it a 5-star as well, as given that I gave Fourth Wing 5 stars. But it continued to be like a not so great path for me. So I didn't give it like a 5-star. If I remember correctly, I think I gave it like a 4.25.
Oh, that's pretty generous. That's pretty generous. Yeah. Okay. I remember in Fourth Wing, you described it as consistent. And I think that was what was lacking in this book, in Book 2, is that the beginning half was really, really rough. And it was frustratingly rough But then the latter half had so much character growth, had a lot of action, a lot of plot twists, and things moved forward. So I would say because of that, I had very mixed thoughts and feelings about it. Like, if I could just mentally block out the first half and then just focus on the last half, 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 solid.
Think
But I
that
can't.
we are in the same page in terms of our disappointments and the first half of book 2, which is
Absolutely.
immaturity of some of the characters that we get to know. I think the middle part of it was really good when we finally get to see these characters choose a side.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to argue with you on the ending, though. I didn't really love it. It didn't really hit me as much as it did when I read the ending of book 1 because that ruined me. I was broken.
Of course,
Book 2,
Liam.
yeah. Duh. But okay, I think that my imagination is okay. Don't trust me because I feel like my imagination is not the best, anyways. When I started seeing those like videos of what happened, that's when I finally cried and said, "Okay, wow, that was bad." But when I was reading it, I'm like, "Okay, like, is this trying to like make me sad?" But it's not hitting me. So yeah. But I remember you were really sad when that happened, right? Like, yeah, the ending.
Absolutely. And it's more so about what's remaining rather than what was. And we'll get into that.
Ooh, I love that. Wow. But I think it's also like I just want to say this while we're talking about this whole like you crying versus me not crying. In book 1, I cried, then you didn't. I feel like this happens to us a lot in different books, right? In different series
Yes.
also. We've seen that my triggers are not the same triggers, right? Like for you.
Mhm.
And it's insane. And I like it. And I think it is one of the things that also pushed us to create this podcast, right? Is because of how different we are also. Like my favorite is Fourth Wing and I loved Onyx Storm. And I remember you saying Iron Flame is actually your favorite and you didn't love Onyx Storm. I feel like we're so different in a sense, and I think it's just so cool. I just needed to point that out. What is your rating again? Like, did you give me the stars? Because I want to know.
I didn't, but I have to add on to your point about how it is so important that we latch onto different things because at least for me, because I tend to mentally black out certain things that I didn't find as enjoyable to read, but because you enjoyed those parts more, then you could like remind me and they'll be like, oh yeah, and then I start to reflect on those moments differently because you bring the emotion to it that I didn't originally have at the time of reading it. But
yes,
to get to your question, the rating. If I could block the first half again, I'd give it a 5 of 5. Including the first half, I would say a 4. But I know. Now that I'm being reminded of how bad the first half was, but I will say it's still worth reading because we need to continue the story because these characters are so lovable. The plot makes so much sense. There's so much to unfold.
absolutely. Well, let's unfold it then. Let's unfold it. You guys, from this point on, we are entering full spoiler territory. So if you haven't finished Iron Flame, pause now and start reading. Do it. We'll see you soon. We'll be here. Save the video and come back. Okay. So here we go. Here we go.
Okay. This is really hard to pick something
hard.
to start with.
No, why don't we start with our pains and disappointments and our suffering with Violet's immaturity?
Oh my goodness, girl. Okay. Let me just say, having read so many books and also watching a lot of K-drama and C-drama especially, the trope of the girl getting so frustrated, it could be the other way around, but usually it's the girl getting so enormously frustrated with the guy when the guy didn't do anything wrong. And then it's just because he needs to hold back information that he rightfully should. Like, that just annoys the heck out of me. And I cannot get over that trope whenever it's used. How about you?
I mean, I don't think I could ever hate Satan. And she did for that fact of like keeping or withholding information from her,
Yes.
right?
He didn't even
wasn't-
technically lie.
Absolutely. And it was like, I think there's intentional lying, right? Or like keeping information to mislead someone. But I guess like behind this is to protect people, protect people that he is loyal to, right? Like, I think, yeah, I can't, I love Violet, and it's so hard to convince anyone, even myself, that maybe somehow she's right or that I understand her, because I can't really.
No, I can't. I can't.
I can.
And the fact too is that throughout her journey, she realized too that like she had to withhold information from her own good friends, like even Ree, because it was never her truth to tell.
Absolutely.
But she didn't extend that grace to Xaden. Like, she didn't acknowledge the fact that it was never his, it wasn't just his. Like, it was everyone that he was representing that was, whose fate and lives were in his hands.
And I honestly, like, I would have understood it if it was in the beginning parts. Like, okay, then let's give her time. But then it began to just like keep on happening and happening, like every
Yes!
other chapter. And I'm like, girl, like at some point you gotta like move on, move forward, especially thinking about what's happening outside of herself, right? Like,
Exactly!
there's some stuff like brewing out there. Like, we are in like real deep shit. And you're still like thinking about Xaden lying. Like, I think it's too surface level. Like, I think,
Yes.
yeah.
Too surface
Yeah.
level. That is an apt description of this whole
Yes.
situation.
And so it just became a thing that Violet and Xaden has this tension.
And it was just so unnecessary. So unnecessary.
So unnecessary, given the fact that there's also a new villain in town, Varish.
Okay. Like the fact that his dragon only has one eye because Taryn took it out, like that says a lot, right? Because we know Taryn is an upright dragon, like very true to who he is and stands for like the right things.
Mm-hmm.
And he could see through people. He said he knows exactly who Violet is, so he knows
Exactly who they are too.
Yep. Yep.
In this book, we also see the struggle, the challenge of Xaden after he graduated. So now he is separated from Violet and Taryn from Sigale for every 2 weeks. Like, they only see each other for like a short time. And then given the flight hours that they have to take in order to get to one place to another, then that hours that they actually spend with each other are becoming less and less.
Yeah, and even when she's physically there, when he's physically at the school, like they still are sent on missions and all this other stuff to deliberately separate them. It's like, Violet, can I just like shake her shoulders and be like, was all of your frustration with him, annoyance with him worth it? Because now look at what's happening. Like you could have been in more alignment. You could have already spent that time building a stronger foundation for your relationship. But instead, she chooses to just continue to be so ignorant. And I just, I couldn't.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's talk about signets. I feel like we haven't talked about this a lot in the last episode as well, as much as we could have. Thoughts on our character signets and how it improved in this book, or maybe developing another sort of signet.
Okay. Well, I know you're super excited about this second signet stuff, especially with all the theories going around. But for me, the biggest thing was being able to meet a teacher who could help Violet be able to better wield her lightning. Like, being given the orb, being taught properly, and not being punished for it like she was at the school, I think is so important. But then at the same time, there's still Varish who, is making things really difficult for everyone. But how about you for Signet?
Signets, I think I would have to agree with what you said about having that orb like as a conduit. And then also, I'm just gonna jump right into knowing second signets. We learn that if you are a rider with a rebellion relic, there's a possibility that you get a second signet. And of course, our guy Zayden would have a second signet. I'm like, do he only get 2 really? I don't even know because okay, maybe I'm so confused and maybe I'm reading it wrong. So you guys help me out. But did he get a second signet because of that mark or because of his dragon being paired with a previous
He's
relative?
a descendant of a previous rider. Yeah.
Relative. Yeah.
Yeah. That does lend to the theory that he has a third. Yeah.
I don't know because also Liam, our guy, we kind of get a glimpse of him wielding ice in book 1. And we know that his signet is Farsight.
There's something up. There's something up about these signets.
Absolutely. And we just don't know yet who has a second signet out of those people. Interesting. Very, very interesting. One of the most exciting parts of this book for me in the middle was seeing the characters eventually choosing sides.
Did you see it coming? The way that they chose?
Some of them, yes, for sure. And some of them, no.
Okay, who's the no?
Dane.
Yeah, I thought
I always knew that Dane is going to have his redemption arc at some point, but I didn't think it was going to be that fast somehow. I thought he was still going to give them a hard time and stay in Basgiath. Especially he is the wing leader now.
That's true. Okay, I wasn't shocked that he left, but I did feel like it was still really hard to forgive him. Let's put it that way. I could not let my feelings aside, despite his actions.
You hated him really bad, I remember.
Really bad. But I would say it could have also been strategic for him if he were to play double agent and stay at the school and then feed them information about what's going on. That could have been an interesting turn of events for sure.
That's true. I also was surprised that Eric was he chose to be on Violet's and Zayden's side.
Interesting. Okay, why were you surprised about that choice?
It's not surprised that I did expect him to be he actually chose them. It was a decision that he very strong before.
Okay.
It didn't really surprise me that he went with them. Maybe he just, I don't know, peer pressure, or he thinks that's the right choice. But it's actually what he wants to do, and he really wants to fight for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that definitely surprised me. This is also the part where we obviously Zayden graduated. The second years are now third year. Dane is the new wing leader. Violet is now second year, along with Ree, with Sawyer, with
their whole squad,
Riddick, the whole squad. And then we get to see new people, the first years.
That's an interesting dynamic, especially with Sloane.
We love Sloane. Sloane is the sister of Liam.
Yep, and I think her initially hating Violet, it made so much sense, but at the same time I was like, if only you knew. If only you knew what he last said to Violet. So
oh my gosh, yes.
Right? I mean, that quote, that was something that left a huge impression on you from book 1. And I assume it would leave a huge impression on Sloane too. But at the same time, she was still adamant on the fact that, yes, so what if my brother sacrificed for you? He shouldn't have done that. And that concept of why? It just makes me, she does bring up good points though. It's why did it have to be him? Why did Violet need someone to save her and sacrifice themselves for her?
Yes. And I think it's also that part of me questioning is is Sloane gonna hate Liam for doing it? Because, I couldn't stop thinking of if that was me, it's at least questioning Liam. It's why would you die for someone else?
Yes.
and leave me alone. Like, what
Yep.
about me? Like, you're trying to save someone, but not me, because then I'm gonna be miserable. Then now I'm gonna be alone. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
yeah,
That's an
like he
interesting thought.
basically chose Violet. Like she could have thought like, oh, so you chose Violet over me.
Yep.
But I think Sloane loved Liam so much that he understood the fact that he's honorable.
Yeah.
But what made her hate Violet is for the exact same reason that you said of like if Violet is probably strong enough who doesn't need saving, then Liam would probably have been alive.
Yeah. Yeah, that. But actually, too, I also wonder, like, it was Xaden who placed Liam as her bodyguard. So how come there was no hate towards Xaden? I wonder. But maybe because Xaden literally saved all of them, like with those lashes.
Yeah.
But still, like, I wonder if she ever questioned too, like, what makes this Violet girl so special that Xaden would place. And then the only way they keep justifying over and over again is like, oh, because of the mating bond between Taryn and Segale. But like, it feels like there's got to be more than that.
Absolutely. We also know in this part of the book that Eric is also a first year.
Mm-hmm.
And Violet knows exactly who he is because he's not just a random first year. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, at first you think like, oh, he's just a rebellious prince who's trying to like get back at his dad.
Prince. We got a prince.
We have a prince in our midst of cadets. But I would say that the way that he carries himself, the way that he properly trained to be like, he immediately is very strong. We could see like he's one of the top of his year, I would say, if not the top, right? So
Right.
he clearly came with a very strong mindset of like, I'm determined to be here for a reason aside from spiting my dad. And if it were just to spite his dad, he would actually let his dad know, hey, I'm here and I'm going to do it anyway. But he hid his identity. And that says a lot about his character. He did. And as you already know, he's my favorite character. But this was definitely building up to the point of him being my favorite character. This builds a strong foundation for him, for me at least. What about for you?
I mean, same. Like when he helped Violet and her squad retrieve the journals in the library or at the archives, we immediately see the type of person he is. And he literally sort of like betrayed his kingdom to do the right thing, to help.
Yep.
And I guess, sure, maybe he did betray his kingdom, but he didn't betray his people. So I ate that.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yes,
you did, girl.
Go for it.
I'll expand a little bit more on that too, because what we're seeing, like what we saw in book 1 was terrible leadership, not only within the school, but in Navarre as a whole. And so to have Air come be this figure, this potential, this prince, it was an official title, but still want the best for the people of Navarre.
Right. So it
really gives us hope. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that there can be real change. It's not just from the bottom up now, it's also from the top down.
Absolutely. We also get to see different characters that are not just writers in this book. I mean, like, there are writers, but not dragon writers. Griffin writers, they are now better part of this storyline. Now that you said that Eric is actually your favorite character, I also have my favorite character, a new one. My favorite is Catriona, which we kind of like get annoyed at first, but I think she's a baddie. She just have like different, I guess, like loyalty too, right? Like she's, yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she's a bad person. I like
by
her.
no means. Yeah, like we already see immediately that she is so loyal to her group that she will go out of her way to save people, other flyers. And I think the whole misunderstanding at the beginning is like, it's understandable. It's understandable to me because like like she never really got the chance to get over Xaden. It's what it seems like.
I don't even think that she was in love with Xaden.
Ooh, okay, that's a hot take. Keep going with that.
I think she needs to have that sort of relationship with Xaden because she had to for him to be her ally. And maybe that's what, like, I don't think it's deep love.
Okay, that's really fair.
I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't think it is. And I don't think she even knows how to love that deep yet.
And also they were young. They were really young when
They
they
were
were
really young.
together.
Yes, for sure. And maybe that's where the hate is coming from too. It's like her not understanding how Xaden loves Violet, right? Like how they do have that kind of love because she doesn't understand it because she probably also didn't feel that for Xaden.
Yeah, and also the
Yeah.
fact that, like, she never had to go through hardship with Xaden, like Violet has. They never actually had to, like, fight in a war. They weren't in a war college together. Like, they weren't enemies at first. Like, there's all these different layers that in Fourth Wing, we did feel like they fell in love too soon, but it was eventually earned, right? Like, their relationship. Katrina never got to witness any of that or experience any of that herself with Xaden.
Right.
Yeah. But she's still by and large is a very interesting character because she has a very powerful position, kind of like with the whole Eric thing. Like,
yeah, she's also second in line, right?
Yeah.
Just like Eric. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And the throne that she's second in line for could actually be pivotal because they're technically outside of Navarre, so they have more control, I guess, over like what they're gonna do. They don't have to fall in line. And so where their loyalties sit could very much be determined by her in the future.
Yes, because even if she doesn't end up sitting on that throne, like maybe her sister will, but she is also very close to her sister. She definitely has that influence for sure.
Yeah, and it's not simply through her title too. I mean, I think she's also gained the respect of the other flyers. She seems to be almost in a sense like a Ree figure to the other flyers, as Ree is to her squad. Would you say that's fair?
Yes, I think that's pretty fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the Flyers to kind of see her as that, not kind of, they do see her as a very much a leadership figure in their squad, or however they call it. Well, now they're part of the squad. Oh, actually, that leads me into the other topic is like how the two groups start melding into each other a bit more. Like there's a lot of tension and then it gets slowly massaged away, but like it builds up quite a bit. What did you think about that?
Well, absolutely, it did build, right? I mean, them coexisting in Arisha when they finally chose sides, they just had to, like, they had to get over their personal annoyance with each other and fight together for bigger threats. I think though that a lot of this also was because of one thing that we kind of forgot to talk about, the torture.
Ooh, yes.
I think because of that moment too, right? Like a lot of their perspectives also changed about Violet. I think so.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of they had a lot more respect for her after what she went through down there. And
she went.
Yeah, to say that she is weak is no longer, I think, a fair statement. Because despite her body physically falling apart, she was still mentally strong enough to resist.
Exactly.
And in her mind, it was always about keeping her squad safe. Like, as long as they got through and got the journals, as long as they're not caught, like, as long as nobody finds out about them, I can survive this. And that is very telling of Violet's character growth, which is, that was one of the main reasons why I loved Iron Flame so much the second half. Is because of that character growth that we get to see in her as well as the other characters.
I just love the part that Liam appeared again. At least we still got a glimpse of him and how important he is, right, to Violet, even if he's gone.
Yes.
Again, like we talked about in book one, like I think he is her comfort and he was there when she was being tortured. And then this is where the whole Dane redemption arc also like came through. Like I was so nervous. I was like, you better, because I'm putting money on you, Dane. Like you better get your shit together. And he did, you know. And then also Xaden came, and it was great. It was a great moment for Violet. Wow, she's very lucky.
Oh
Violet's
yeah, she's
very
lucky.
lucky.
Lucky indeed.
Ooh, I am so confused onto like why Atos, like Dane's dad, is still alive.
Yeah, I feel like he's so somehow like protected. Why is that? Like just because he was the second to their mom? Like I don't know. I
But
don't
like,
know.
why does he still exist?
Why does he still exist? Like what is his actual purpose and what arc can he really have?
I don't know. I
Because
have no
before
idea.
it was about, well, before at least, his main purpose for us as readers was that he was manipulating Dane. But then Dane now has his arc and has seen the light, right? But obviously, Aedos isn't going to. He
And like
seems.
what? Like why
Yeah.
was it necessary for Varys to jump in anyways?
Exactly. It
Like,
almost
why
felt
can't he
like they were
just
like,
orchestrate?
use Aedos for that purpose, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it felt like they're like, oh, well, Aedos isn't violent enough. Like, he doesn't have a scary one-eyed dragon like Varys does.
Maybe. And but then we also like, let's talk about like seeing Nolan as well. Like
Yeah, I was confused.
Like, I mean, he is the one who basically helped with Violet, right? Like being taken to
Because
torture.
like on the one hand, we're told that, you know, kind of like with Dane, that she was someone that he could trust since she was young. Because she's always been weak and she's always needed healing. Then why did he turn around and like he was just so brainwashed? How come so many of them are just so brainwashed? It blows my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
But
blows
at
my mind.
least we see a glimpse of Lilith Sorrengail in this part.
Oh, not just a glimpse.
I still a glimpse. I don't think it really solved everything between them, you know, the dynamic between them two, but and it still wasn't an excuse to me. But at least we had like a little bit of like, okay, so like you still care about your daughter at least. And she accepted. She accepted that Violet made her choice and fly to Risha and choose, you know, the side that she believes in.
She was the one who encouraged Violet to join as a writer. And she's like, you know, this is your real fate, not being a scribe. Whatever choice Violet makes as a writer, you should then, you know, respect. And I think that's kind of the conclusion that she came to rather than like, oh, that's the path that I actually saw for you. Going into this. And I think her mom was also shocked by that decision as well. And by her falling for Xaden. But at the same time, like, how could you not see that coming? I mean.
Well, okay. Now that we're talking about Xaden, in this book, we read or heard, if you listen to an audiobook, My House, My Chair, My Woman. Was that really necessary? Because, oh my gosh, why?
Okay. Out of context, that sounds so freaking sexy. But in the moment, it did feel a little forced. But.
Really?
For me, yes, it did. Because they're like, I understand that he's trying to like assert his his, you know, male dominance and being like, everyone get out of the room. Like, you know, I'm going to have my private time with my woman. And then obviously pleasuring
Get
her.
out of the room.
Yeah, I mean, he kicked them out. But I would also have to say that I would have rather it had been like in a time when he was defending her. And I think this harks back to one of the, you know, ACOTAR series that we're currently reading. Maybe it's not a fair comparison. Don't hate me, fandom. But I'm literally asking for it. Here it comes. I just think that moment, phrase, could have been saved for a time when she actually, like, she was being potentially verbally attacked by someone that she loves, and then he would have to say, you know, like set his foot down in that way of like, this is my house, this is my chair, this is my woman. Like, don't you dare disrespect her, you know? But instead, it was in a sexual moment, which still works. I mean, it's still hella sexy. Come on. But hey, now I said my piece. What were you thinking when that moment came?
I mean, my jaw dropped. I think my brain stopped working after reading it. I have no words to say. It was okay. I don't know, really. And it lives rent free on my mind. I'm like, that specific scene. I understand though, when you said that, you know, like it could be in a moment that he was defending her, right? Like I don't even know, like, was it in his POV?
No, it wasn't.
Wait, it wasn't.
He's
So Violet heard it all.
I mean, but it's a huge turn on. Come on, after
For
that.
sure. Wow. So I still just couldn't like wrap my head around that part of like her being in this throne, right? And
Yeah.
like chair and like the positioning. It's like it's not making sense. I'm like,
all you need to do is look up AI videos. I'm sure there's something close to it.
we don't even know, right? So we are excited to see how they do it and the series that is going to be an adaptation of Fourth Wing, which is we are very excited about. But more on that on the next episodes.
Yes.
Now we get into the part of the challenge of raising up the wards in Arisha. So we know that Eric at least helped with retrieving the journals and like, you know, figuring it out, how to put up the ward stone back up. And we see that my guy Dane, which I put money into, I'm just kidding, is actually also like a big help in, you know, like imbuing this ward stone some magic, some power. Part where, you know, he is really trying. Talking about the him helping Violet put magic into the ward stone, right?
Yeah.
And this was the first run of
okay, before he became a siphon, it was when they were slowly working together to add these. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So remember when they had to choose dragons to breathe in fire into the ward stone, right? Like that's the last piece. But we also know that they could only do it once, and that's
each
insane,
dragon,
right?
Yeah,
each dragon
can only imbue one ward stone.
One ward stone, and so it all went to freaking waste because they didn't know about the actual last piece, which is Andarna's kind. Wow.
And we always knew Andarna was special, but we didn't know how special until now.
How special, absolutely. So now let's go to the actual ward stone that we're talking about, the one
the final scene.
The final scene, and it's not the Arisha ward stone. This happened in Basgiath because guess freaking what? Jack Barlow turned out to be alive.
Is being full on venom considered alive? Food for thought. But let's say
yes, please, because I refuse to believe that Xaden is not alive.
No, don't. Let's not go there. Don't even put that thought out into the whole universe. But yes, so Jack Barlow shows up with his dragon and then freaking slays his dragon to bring the wards down. Okay, I feel like even though as bad as Jack Barlow is, I was still so shocked when that happened. How about you?
Know why Jack Barlow is still alive. Like, there's so many. Like, I think it could have also been as effective if Dane's dad, you know, like, did that. Like, why does it have to be freaking Jack Barlow, right? But I guess we needed to see some shocking thing. So okay, fine. But that also means that he did survive. You know, when Violet tried to kill him, And that we also get some answers from him later on about like how he was able to still be alive and how he was still able to enter Basgiath even if
Yeah.
he was Venin. So it all came down to those things that needed to be explained. So sure, but slaying the dragon, that's I don't understand. Like he's crazy.
He's absolutely crazy. Absolutely. And I think it goes to show just how desperate he is to have his own source of magic, such that
Yeah.
even though his dragon was willing to stay with him despite him being Venom, he would still kill his dragon.
Right. And we also know that when this was happening, right, like Zayden isn't present in this part. Like he was literally battling with the Venons because apparently like one of the Venons want him, right? I mean, he's very powerful
Yeah. Yeah.
for
And
sure.
we're trying to figure out too, like,
Mhm.
why him? But
Why
again,
him?
the power though, and then the concept of what is a Venom really looking for? Why does
Yes.
someone turn to Venom? And it seems to be rooted in the sense of greed, that they want something that they can't have as a rider, or even as not a rider, but just like a human. Yeah.
But it also I think it's also being scared in a sense or like
Ooh.
I think that they probably chose to be Venom is because they know that they're not going to survive being a dragon rider. So, so they want reassurance. So, like, instead, like, okay, like, I'm just going to draw from the earth and because it's much safer for me. So, in a sense, like, they also don't trust themselves, right, to be the best of the best. Because if you have so much confidence in who you are and your capabilities, it is not an issue for you to do it the right way. So they use it as a shortcut to harness power.
Shortcut is
Hmm.
a very apt term to apply to
Yes,
this. And
absolutely.
it's also apt not only in the sense of their perspective of how they're taking the magic, but also how short-lived that magic is. Because once they take from the earth, that's it. It's like it's withered away. It's gone. Like they're gonna eventually run out of sources of magic to take from. So then what's left?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then do they then fight each other to take each other's magic?
And why do they have so much hate with the writers or like with the people
Yeah,
in Navarre? Like, why can't
yeah.
they just like? Because like what are they trying to do? Like they don't have to absorb that magic unless they're trying to like use the magic, right? And they've been using the magic to get to Navarre, which
Yep.
is what is the need? Like why?
And then essentially turning more riders into Venom means that there's more competition for the limited magic that exists on the earth.
Mhm.
You're creating
Mhm.
your own competition. Why would you do that?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
Interesting. Yeah,
Mhm.
interesting thought.
Mhm.
So we then get into that part of okay, so Jack slayed the dragon. Surprise, he's Venom now. They have no choice but to really race up the war, right? Violet was given a chance to decide whether she wants to use Undarna as the last piece to raise the wards in Basgiath or home in Arisha.
That's interesting how you call it home.
That's their home now. Basgiath is temporary. It's only 3 years. So,
That's true. That's
her
true.
home would be Arisha. And she chose Basgiath because everyone she loves, they're there.
Yeah.
So she did, and she tried so hard to put as much magic as she can into the wardstone. And we know that she can burn out.
Yes.
So her mom made a sacrifice to give her magic and burn out herself so that she could keep her children safe using Sloane, that we now know is a siphon.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's a very deep moment.
It was a very deep moment for you indeed, because I remember. To me, it
Yeah.
didn't really hit.
Yeah. So I have a guess as to why, but you explain why it didn't hit you.
I just didn't have attachment to the mom.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I think she was a terrible mom. So I even feel like, okay, like you're just trying to like redeem yourself at this point. And it's like, I'm not buying it. Okay, so why did it really break you that much?
Okay, I also felt like she was a terrible mom. We didn't get to learn much about her, was not attached to her personally. But I could tell just how broken the three siblings were because
Mm,
they never got closure. with her.
Mhm.
They never got to know who their mom really was, what she stood for, and how deeply she truly loved them. Because like you said, it does feel like she's just trying to redeem herself for being a bad mother, but that doesn't mean she really loved them? And I
Right.
think that lack of closure is what really hit me hard, because you could never take back that moment because they're gone. And especially for Brennan, because he never found it in himself to forgive her, and he left framing his own like disappearance as death. And so how deeply it hit her that he supposedly died, like he will never know anymore. And
But
go
you
ahead.
see, like, that's the thing. I think to me, maybe not having a closure or like maybe not having that progression with the mom is okay. Because what if they knew about how their mom really is or like how she really thinks and they just ended up even more disappointed?
Oh, but then
So,
hopefully that could have moved on from that. Kind of
no,
like
but
Dane and his dad. Like, oh, I
no,
guess he
but at
hasn't moved
least
on.
now their last memory of their mom is her sacrifice, and they now think that at least their mom did something for them. So at least that's the last memory of the mom, rather than like actually finding out how cruel or like bad their mom is. And like I think that that's a much crazier, path for the mom. So I think she's good. Yeah.
Okay, we definitely have
This
very
is so
different
bad. Like
perspectives
the
on
way I
that.
say it, like it's good that she didn't. No, I didn't mean it
No,
that
no,
way. But like
I
maybe
get
it's
what
just a
you're
better option.
saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I don't see it from that perspective, but I get what you're saying.
Hmm.
Yeah.
When the mom sacrificed herself, the ward is up. This is also the time that we find out that Satan turned Venom. I hated that part.
Oh yeah, because it felt so like pointless,
Unnecessary.
totally unnecessary.
I get that we need Zayden to be Venom, right? To move the story forward.
Yes.
I get that 100%. But in a moment where literally like someone just sacrificed herself, like you turning Venom doesn't make sense anymore, right? Like it's
No,
just I wish it
it
could have
doesn't.
been on like a different part of the story.
It there could have been a way to make it make more sense.
Yes.
Definitely. And it could have been even more directly tied to Violet than what it seemingly was.
Ooh, yes, that's true.
Yeah. Because they tried to make that connection, but it didn't add up to me. Because
Me too.
the urgency almost was like, how could he have known? How could he have known that he had to make that sacrifice at that very moment for the Wardstone? Like they were already working on it. It just felt like, and if it were truly a lack of communication, like then that was just the problem. It could have been better communication. Like if better communication could have prevented him from being Venom, it wasn't a good enough reason.
Right.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Me too. So given that, that's what I'm saying with like how I feel like book 2 has a lot of like unnecessary parts. Like
Yes.
moments of like, huh?
Yeah,
Why?
you just scratch your head.
Yeah, it's like, okay. Weird.
Yeah.
So that's my take. I have a question. Would you actually like take power from the earth like Zayden did?
Okay, well, it depends. Again, if I could have a good reason to, I would. I would. Like if it were life or death with Andarna, for example. I just have major soft spots for Andarna, but like if it came to that, I would. Although clearly, like we're not at any point where she needs to be, but still, it's like I would.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
For
would
the
too.
right reasons. Yeah, for the right reasons too.
Yeah. And I just
For
feel
real.
like it just needed to be earned, that's all, with Zayden. It just needed to make sense, make more sense why.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Let's come up with a scenario. Let's do that. Sounds fun. Okay, come up with a reasonable scenario for him turning Venom. Be specific.
Say I would have turned Venom for Liam.
Yeah, okay. And so maybe to turn Venom to imbue him with, to heal him. Is that what you're saying? Or like to prevent him from having died in the first place?
Yeah, in the first place, maybe.
Oh, okay. Okay. Scenario for me would be, let's say, for example, Varish, right? Because he was evil. Obviously, he's dead by now. But let's say Varish, right? And his dragon. Oh, in that moment before he died, right? Like them in the cave and everything. Like if it came down to Andarna being in that position and she actually wasn't capable of like fending for herself, then I would have taken from the earth to like protect her.
Aw.
Yeah.
Do you think Violet would ever
Become Venom.
become Venom? Not like as a like in a literal sense of her becoming Venom, but like do you think that she would be someone who would take magic from the earth?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I could
Really?
totally see that. Because
What
go ahead.
What about, well, go for it, because my question is for a different person.
Okay, for Violet, because she's always found ways to outsmart people who she's not strong enough to defeat for the right reasons always. Like her poisoning people, she never killed them, but she poisoned people in order to beat them on the map because she knew that's what she needed to do to survive. And to her that was the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to for the right reasons, yes, I can see Violet taken from the earth.
What about Dane?
Ooh, Dane. That's a tricky one. Actually, now that he has his whole, arc, his redemption arc, I could see him because this is the thing. It's like when someone has been such a stickler for so long, and then their whole reason for being a stickler is because they truly believe that's the way the world works. And then that whole world gets shattered. Then what else do you do but go do the exact opposite of following the rules? And become like a bad boy and be like, oh hell no, like all rules are like off limits. Or like, yeah. How about you?
Oh, now that you mentioned it, that makes sense. I would have said no unless it's for Violet.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then, yeah. Now, like, begs the question of, like, Liam would probably never draw from the earth.
Yeah, I think Liam is one of those special people. And not to say that, like, I would say either is right or wrong. Either decision is right or wrong, but I could definitely see Liam being one of those.
Wow. Well, I think it's still a really good book for me. I mean, I love the whole Empyrean series. So, yeah, I mean, I still give it a 4.25. That's it.
I think we talked our hearts out about this and got out the rant that we needed to about the first half of the book.
Absolutely. Because that was really rough for me, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And for you too.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. We got through that.
We got through that. Okay, well, exciting because next week we will venture outside the continent. Ooh. Go on an adventure. But also come back to Basgiath with more secrets revealed. And we will continue our conversation with Onyx Storm.
And until then, we will brew the best teas for you. See you
next week.
Besties!
Besties!